What's up guys, it's Brody from Now Goes Cars. In today's video we're going to be showing how to install SS tuning flares on the Focus ST. I actually filmed this video about maybe a month ago or so, but it was way too much wind noise. We didn't want to put out a crappy video for you guys. And honestly, if you guys were trying to watch an instruction video and you guys could understand half of the things that we were saying, it wouldn't be much help. What we're going to be doing today, we're going to be breaking everything down and we're going to be showing every single tool, every single step to install the flares on the Focus ST. Before we jump right into the install, we actually have to understand all the tools and products that we're going to be using. So the first product is actually going to be masking tape. This is 2-inch tape, this is 3M tape. This is my preferred tape that I would like to use. It just seems to stick a little bit better and you don't really want to cheap out on this because this is ultimately going to depend on the result of your flares. What we're actually going to be doing with this tape is lining the flares and the car with this, so any excess adhesive that comes out of the flares when we push it on will actually go onto the tape instead of your car, because who wants to clean all that shit up? Next product you're going to need is a Scotch-Brite pad. This is a red scuff pad by 3M. You're going to need something like this. This is similar to the pad that you use in your sink to wash your dishes, like the green one, but just a slightly different material, a little bit better for the automotive application. So try to pick up one of these. You can use a red one or a gray one, just kind of up to you. This is going to help the adhesive stick whenever we put it on the car. The product that we use to put on these flares is Heavy Body Seam Sealer by 3M. It comes in a tube just like this. It has two components, so it's a catalyzed component. And what actually happens is these two tubes get pushed together and it goes through this mixing tip that has a bunch of channels through it that mixes all through, and once it comes out of there it's properly mixed. To use this adhesive you actually have to get a special gun. So the special gun looks similar like this. It's going to have two different pieces like that that'll actually go in as you pull this trigger. So what you're going to do is pull this all the way back, and you're going to be loading in the adhesive this way with the back end of it with the nozzle facing this way towards the front, and then that'll go in and you slide this forward and you start pumping it. These guns are on about $35 to $40 on Amazon. They aren't too bad. This one seems like it's pretty good quality. I've had no issues with it. Just kind of look around, see what you guys can find. The adhesive that we're using dries in about 15 minutes, or starts to set up in 15 minutes, but no one's got that much time, so try to get some clamps. We have some C-clamps right here. These are vice grip C-clamps, and I like to tape the ends of them just so it doesn't damage the paint on the vehicle. If you guys don't have any C-clamps or vice grip C-clamps, you can use a little alligator clamps like this, or try to find something that's just going to hold it there. Or honestly, if you have time, just hold it there or grab a buddy that's going to hold one side while you hold the other, and you should have no problem putting these flares on. So those are basically the main products that we're going to be using in this video to install these flares. It's not a whole lot. You just kind of have to watch the process to get a good result and just take your time. First step to this install is actually going to be taking one of the flares and you're going to line with the 2-inch yellow tape, you're going to line all of the edges of the flares. And what's this going to do is whenever the adhesive gets pushed out and we push the fender onto the car, it's going to ooze onto the tape instead of oozing onto your car. So line this up as close to the edge as you can, and it kind of depends on the result of what your flares are going to look like with this process. I would try to use bigger pieces and take your time. It's going to be a whole lot easier taking it off at the end. So try to take your time and just go around the outside and try to get every single flare done before we move on to the next step. Be holding the flare up to the car once you have it all masked up around the edges of the flare, and you're actually going to be holding it up. Try to get a friend maybe to hold it up for you, and you're going to be masking around the flare. So whenever you take off the flare, you actually want to see an outline of where the flare was. That's going to show us exactly where the flare is going to sit. And so once we have that, we're going to take a red Scotch-Brite pad and we're going to go around the areas of that tape and scuff it up. So just scuff up around the edges of the tape where the adhesive is going to go. Once you guys have that all scuffed up, it's time to clean it so the adhesive will stick. I like to use a wax and grease remover. This is Prep Ball. This is a little bit cheaper of a product, but this is what I have at my house. You could also use alcohol or acetone or something along those lines to clean up the surface. Just try to get it as clean as possible for the best result. to go ahead and lay the adhesive. Once you have the flares actually all set up, you're going to go ahead and go around the perimeter of the flares and just put a small bead on it. And you don't want to put too much where it's going to be a pain to clean up, but you want to put enough that you know that there's going to be enough there to hold the flare on. So it's a little bit of a guessing game. It's obviously going to be a little bit better if you're going a little bit more generous, but definitely take your time, get a nice long bead, and you should be fine. The wheel well is not that important because it's not held up that much. Whenever you have the flare actually up on the wheel well, it doesn't really touch it. You can put the adhesive on there for good measure, but really not necessary. The rest of the flare will hold it on there perfectly fine. When you're actually trying to push the flare up on the fender, try to just line it up with the tape as best you can. Kind of go off those and just try to get as close to where you need it to be as possible because it's going to be permanent. I recommend having a friend. Just make sure that you get everything pushed in properly and use clamps around the wheel well. We just decided to just push on it because it really wasn't that long to sit there and wait for it to start curing. I'd say it probably started curing around like 7.5 minutes to like 10 minutes is when it started to actually like harden up. As the adhesive hardens, it comes from like a runny glue to like a hardened gel. Once that happens, you want to pull the tape as quick as possible because you do not want that stuff hardening. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard to take off. So once it starts to just slightly harden up, you want to go ahead and pull that tape up, but you want to make sure that the flare remains where it's supposed to sit. This becomes a little bit difficult trying to peel up the tape because you can't really use your fingernails and you might want to use gloves because your hands will get dirty. Kind of a balancing act, but just gonna have to tough it out. Once you guys have all the tape peeled off, you're basically done. All you guys have to do is clean it up with lacquer thinner or waxing grease remover to clean up all the excess adhesive. And you should be leaving with a nice fresh finish. Once you have the one flare done, it's kind of just repeating the process on all the other flares. The corner pieces and the side pieces are a little bit harder, so just be a little bit more careful on them. Anyways guys, I hope this helped you out. And if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. We'll definitely have a lot more content coming, and we'll see you in the next one.